there, viewers, and welcome back to the South Main Auto Channel. It's What's Up Wednesday on a Thursday. We never seem to do quick tip Tuesdays on a Tuesdays or what have you. Sometimes they're recorded on a Tuesday. I don't know if I've ever put one out on a Tuesday, though. But we were pretty good with What's Up Wednesdays as far as getting them out on Wednesdays. And just so you know, a lot of people have asked what happened to What's Up Wednesday. Well, I made the announcement last year, or maybe it was earlier this year. I believe it was, yeah, coming into spring, things get pretty busy in the summertime. So, we discontinued doing them for, probably obvious reasons. And now we're coming back into winter. And as deer season gets ramped up and when it comes to an end, we'll be starting back with the What's Up Wednesdays. Or as the time change comes about and it gets dark really early, then we'll be doing that. Then more religiously, I guess it'll be. So is everybody, am I coming in loud and clear? This is our new fiber optic internet service, 10 by 100. So I just want to make sure that it's clear as it can be. Okay, everybody says that sounds good. Everybody sees the rusty Chevrolet. I'll give you two guesses what it's in here for. Two guesses, that's all you get. I'll give you a hint. Let's see. Okay, there's your hint. That's the only hint you get. Brake lines, yep. Winner, winner. You didn't win anything, Doug, but you are officially the winner. So now it does need manifolds. I see a bunch of broken bolts on this side, but he just wanted to do the brake lines. And I've bought, I don't really want to say this out loud, but a Dorman kit. The Dorman stainless steel lines. I don't know who makes them for them, but it's clearly not made by them because these things fit beautiful. I don't know if you guys have ever used them. The pre-bent stainless steel line kits by Dorman. I hate even saying that word out loud. They fit beautiful. I'm not going to lie. It's obvious that they do not make the product. And I believe it probably comes from the same facility, I believe, that makes the ones for GM. So you can buy these pre-bent line kits from GM. And, they fit great, but they're not stainless. They're the black coated brake lines. But they have the same little stickers on them. They come in the same size box and the same plastic wrapping. I mean, they're so similar. I can only imagine that, they're made at the same factory, I guess. I don't know if the GM ones are made in China. These come obviously straight from China as everything else does. I got to believe that the GM ones come from China like most of their stuff. Not hating on GM, just saying. My computer audio is muted. But anyhow, regardless of where they're built, the Dorman brake line kits for these Chevrolets do work quite well. I install lots of them. It seems like I do about one a week. I thought I had all these junkers done, but evidently not. And the other thing that works really well on these Chevys is when you get them in, and of course the fuel lines rot off them, you can get the fuel lines from GM, but they're one piece and they're, I would say, probably impossible to install. There is a company on Rock Auto, is the only place I've found, that makes I guess it would be a two-piece, but they're actually six pieces. You get the two, the pressure and return, or in this case, this one's going to be the pressure line and the vapor line. You get the two pieces that go up over the transmission. You get the sections of flex line that are stainless, and then you get the two lines that run to the back. And they make it so they couple together and everything is stainless. The flex hoses, the nuts that couple them together, they're absolutely beautiful. They're 300-ish American dollars, but they work absolutely fantastic. And they're a huge pain in the hoo-ha to install, particularly where they run up over the transmission. If you're very particular, as I tend to be, and you want to get them all back in the factory brackets, they are a pain. I'd take the rear cross member out of the truck. I'd let the transmission down as far as it'll go. Usually the transfer case hits the other cross member. And then it's just, you just got to do it. It ain't fun. So Paul says use flexible, make your own line. So typically I always do. I always make my own plastic lines. On these Chevys, they run so tight to everything where they go up behind the cab and up to the engine and then down along the transmission and around the front drive shaft. I find it's not feasible to use the flexible line. They make so many tight bends. If you use the nylon line, you'll know as well as I do that it kinks easily. I wish somebody would come up with a device to bend plastic line, something that you could put it in and form it, heat it, and it would actually retain that shape. I've very gingerly taken some in the past and, hold it under hot water and just keep, manipulating it. And I've gotten pretty decent sweeping, like 90-degree bends, but it's just monotonous. It just takes forever. So that's my thoughts on that. So I like them kits for these Chevys, the 4-piece, 2-piece, whatever you want to call it, brake or fuel line kits. So yeah, that's it. And the Dorman, hate to say it, Dorman feels like I got to wash my mouth out with soap. Brake line kits, you can't beat them, and they're super cheap. I don't even think you can buy the line and the fittings to do it yourself for what you can buy the pre-bent line kits for. So yeah, I guess that's it. Oh, and the other thing, now that we got a lot of folks up in here, I know probably a lot of you folks haven't commented on this, but so I put out the video showing the Z-Bar undercoat, and people are going nuts, saying, poor preparation, this and that and the other thing. The truck wasn't done, just done recently, saying I'm trying to be mischievous, I guess it would be, in presenting the fact that this crappy rubberized undercoat rots the vehicle out. I know this guy personally. I know the day he bought the truck, and I know that he went to Z-Bar because they're only, not even an hour away. And he had the truck done since it was new. I have no need to lie. I don't benefit from making a, fictitious statement saying, oh yeah, these people, this is a scam. I'm not saying that Z-Bar's a scam or anything like that. I'm just saying from experience, I know this guy has had this truck from day one. He has to take it back every year to have this crap sprayed on it. And I see lots of vehicles like this. And I typically, I should say always, just deny working on them. I will not work on them. They're absolute garbage. And I don't care if it was put on there from day one. That crap they put on here in the Northeast, as soon as the salt gets behind it, it's done. The car's toast. So I'm not lying. I have no need to lie and make up a video and try to run down some company. And it was not even my intention to run down Z-Bar. That's just the brand that he chose to use. I've seen lots of guys do it. They take some, toilet like this and spray it with undercoat thinking it's going to help, but it doesn't. It destroys them. So that's why I say, you go to Crown, you fluid film it yourself, you buy the Crown product, do it yourself. It's, you spray bar and chain oil and toilet bowl wax, anything is better than that crap. So I'm just saying, just so you know, I'm not a liar, pants on fire. Oh yeah. And then I guess one more thing. So the video I put out this morning, one of them, the visual inspection one, was like, whatever. But the one where the guy rebuilt the engine, honestly, I called him up. He came over. I was like, hey, we're going to start this up. Do you want to be here to warm it up? Whatever. He comes over. I tell him what he did. He's like, oh, okay. Didn't faze him whatsoever, which is fine. We all make mistakes. And I encourage you guys to go back and read the comments. I think it's like at 900 comments now, but I asked guys to share their stories of mistakes they've made. If you haven't made any working on cars, you haven't ever worked on a car. That's just the bottom line. I've made mistakes. You make mistakes. If you haven't, you're going to make a mistake. And that's just the bottom line. Some of the comment section is unbelievable. It's just fantastic that, guys are just opening up, spilling their guts of the stupid stuff they've done. And of course, now we can go back and look at it and laugh. Of course, in the moment, it always sucks. One story comes to mind. I was just reading on there. A guy had replaced an engine in something and didn't put the flywheel on it and had the engine in and buttoned up, and transmission's tight, and he goes to put torque converter bolts in, and nothing to attach them to. So yeah. I think Astro's telling us stories here. I put the driver's side stainless steel brake line on the passenger side, put my truck in the track, put it in the ditch. Well, that's your own fault. That can't be a true story, is it? But yeah, I've done lots of mistakes. I mean, I probably told you guys about when I worked for my dad. I did a Ford Taurus, put an engine in it, 3.0. Remember the day? Had the engine there, engine's on the stand, got everything swapped over, whatever I had to do. Put it on the cherry picker, had it dangling, put the flywheel on, put the bolts in, went to lunch. Came back, popped the engine in, just about 5 o'clock, hit the key, fired up, and it's sitting there making this light, rattly, knocking type sound. Yep, never tightened up the flywheel bolts. So engine had to come back out. Yeah, so that's one of my more worst ones I've done. I had another one that's very similar back when fortunately it was when I worked for my dad, so none of them really cost me anything. But I did if you guys remember, I think it was the GM, like the 3.3, I think they did. It had the cam sensor right in the front of the timing cover, and on the cam sprocket they used to have the little magnet that was like glued in there. Well, the magnet would fall out and you'd lose cam signal. So the fix for it was you had to pull the front cover and put timing gear on it. So I pull it apart, put new timing gear set on it, put it all back together. Everything's done, full of water. Car's sitting there running like a top, runs perfect. I go to take care of my tools and I look at my magnet tray and there's the cam button with the spring on it. And I debated long and hard not to tell my old man about that and just kind of in the trash. But I knew I wouldn't sleep at night. So I had to tell him what I did. And then we had to tear the whole damn car back apart to put in this little weak little spring and little button. And so, yeah, so that was a learning lesson. That sucked. Wait a minute, maybe this is a true story by Ash. So I had a 91 Porsche 944 on fire by dropping a wrench and creating an arc across the starter in the block. Wiring everywhere went up in 5 seconds. Don't tell me that's a true story. We can laugh about it now. Probably not as funny then. And I think, of course, as mechanics, we've all done the classic, double oil filter deal, or, the drain plug out, fill it up with oil, you got a lake on the floor, that type of stuff. A $20 tip I got today for putting in a license plate light. $20 tip on a 98-cent bulb. That's the first time you've heard me curse. I did not just drop an F-bomb today. Oh, I hope I didn't. Try to keep the channel rated G, PG-ish. Maybe some innuendos here and there. No, you don't spend. I didn't spend that $20 on scratch offs. We all learned that scratch offs are bad, and gambling is from the devil. Folks are nice in upstate. Some folks, not all. Oh, I said damn. I meant to say dang. Yeah, PG. It's more like PG-14. Keith Perkins, you double filtered an O-ring twice? Shame on you. Most of us learned the first time. Third time's the charm, though. I think I've only ever done it once. Yeah, I know I've done it at least once because it makes a freaking mess. And I did one. Actually, I did one here. I didn't double O-ring it, but this was a Ford pickup, a white one. Guy's in a huge hurry. Waiter comes in, oil change. Never wants anything looked at. Just spill and fill, blow up the flat tires, that kind of stuff. Like, got to be out of here in 5 minutes. So I bring it in as a 6-cylinder because I remember the oil filter, it was like a 04, that body style 03. Oil filter goes straight on from the front. You reach way up in the 6-cylinder, the engine's way back under the front seat, and you reach way in and screw the oil filter on. So I pull it up in the air. Of course, I drop the oil filter off it, drop the oil, in a hurry, gotta go. Spin the oil plug back in it, got talking or did something, set the car down, filled it up with oil, reached into the window, hit the key, boom, truck starts up. I'm watching oil pressure gauge, and like 5 seconds later, I'm like, I shut it right off. and then you just hear the rain coming down underneath the truck. And this thing shot straight out of the freaking fan, and it was everywhere. I mean, it was such a mess. I was so pumped up. What a freaking mess that thing made. I remember that. Going to tell him, like, look, here's what happened. You know, you're going to be a few minutes. Clean up that mess. Of course, it was only like, you know, a quart and a half of oil, but once it hits the fan and hits everything and hits the floor, it looks like 7 gallons. It looks like the Exxon Valdez tipped over in my shop. That was a disaster. So, anyhow, oh, I got something else to show you guys. Salt and vinegar. Oh, man. Anyhow, do you guys smell the salt and vinegar can, or when you open a bag of salt and vinegar, do you try to take in a big haul off it? Sorry to eat in front of you, but yeah, and I'm drinking out of a Sunny Service cup. I'm drinking out of the competition's cup. I got sweet SMA ones around here, but so how's the arthritis doing? Well, it still hurts. It hasn't gone away yet. I have found, though, that Tylenol PM is your friend. I have a little bit of what do they call it when you can't sleep, you know? What am I, there's something wrong with my brain right now. Somebody fill me in here. I can't even think. Whatever, I give up. Sometimes my arthritis gets insomnia. Jeez, there we go. You win, Ford guy AJ. You are the winner. Yeah, I know coffee makes it worse, but this is only my second cup of the day. I had one this morning, one right now, and I'm going to counteract any negative effects from chips with an apple. I'm not sure how that works. I don't know if it's like one right, cracks are wrong type thing. But yeah, no, freaking shoulders and stuff get hurting so bad at nighttime. Take a little Tylenol PM and lights out, fella. We'll clear out thermostat valves, open the car's hot. Man, Astro has like a lot of bad stories. Only 2 cups of coffee. Remembers his first year as a tech. Nah, it gives me heartburn, Keith. My tummy can't handle the spicy coffee. Plus, it makes me stupid. I have discovered that copious amounts of sugar and caffeine make me irritable. They also make me very tired. And I also lose train of thought. I don't want to be around people. I can't think, don't talk to me. I can't do, 2 things at once. I lose my ability to multitask. The more coffee I drink, the worse it gets. Through my own observations, I actually went on a coffee sugar fast, which was awful because basically everything that has coffee or sugar in it is amazing. But I did discover it does cut down on the inflammation. But yeah, oh yeah, mine's black. Black. I always drink mine black. So it does cut down, sugar is a huge inflammatory, or so it seems. That I've discovered. The more I drink, the more I ache, or the more coffee or sugar I ingest, the worse arthritic flare-ups I seem to have. And speaking of sugar, the ice cream store, both of them are now closed for the season. So that will definitely reduce the sugar intake here. It's a sad day. I mean, I drive by the place and I turning signals on. I'm like, oh, they're closed. It's awful. Am I gluten-free? Do I look like a freaking hippie? No, I'm not gluten-free. All of us, that's so trendy, man. Everybody's like, oh, I'm gluten, sugar, dairy-free now. Maybe some people really are, but it seems that there's a lot of people that all of a sudden are gluten, sugar, dairy-free because it's on Facebook. Like people put pictures of bacon and beef on there. I'm like, I'm on that diet, whatever that one is. I'm on the bacon and beef diet and ice cream. And my sodium, I just absorb through my skin naturally by working on vehicles from upstate New York. You just go over and buy it, and it's just a sodium shower, a cloud. How's the Jeep? That is a good question. As you, if you're observant, you may notice that in the recent Jeep video that the corn was only about knee high, so that lets me know that that video was taken probably sometime in July. And the Jeep's pretty much been sitting since then. It sits over in the other bay now because I felt guilty because it sat for a couple months and I haven't even so much as driven it. So I started it up today of all days and drove it around the block and came back and felt really cool. And I parked it inside and it's been sitting there ever since. I still need to finish it. I still need to get the rear drive shaft. I need to put the skid plate on it. I need to put the slip yoke eliminator on it. I got to put the front bump stops on it. I chopped the crap out of the front bumper, so it looks pretty sick now. But I've got lots of clearance. I did go out wheeling with it. I ended up getting buried up on top of one of the local power lines, gas lines. I can't tell you which one because it's probably illegal to be there. And to get out, I really had to hammer on it. And I no longer have a front washer jug because I found that the tires expand at high RPMs, and well, the washer jug was in the way, frankly. So that is no longer with us. Oh, and I have something else to show you. Are you guys ready? Ooh, got one thumbs down. Got one hater in the crowd. Hater gonna hate. Are you guys ready for this? I'm opening it up real slow. I'm removing the foam. I've got a letter here from the YouTube. From Susan Wichachki. Wichkaki, I don't know. The CEO of YouTube. And she writes, and I think this is a generic letter. I don't really feel that this is personal towards me. And it's a digital signature anyways from old Susan. I call her Sue when we talk, which isn't very often. And she writes, you've just done something that very few YouTube creators accomplish. You have an astonishing 100,000 people subscribe to your channel. We know that numbers on YouTube can get really big, but we hope that you don't lose sight of the reality behind that 6-digit milestone. Each and every person who has subscribed to your channel, that's you folks, has been touched by what you created. How's that make you feel? They were inspired, challenged, or entertained. Perhaps all three. Or completely let down. I mean, if she's being, honest with herself here. Disappointed. There's a lot of other words we could add with this. I guess we're going to be adjectives. You've achieved this milestone with hard work, perseverance, and probably a healthy sense of humor too. Maybe she does know us. What you've accomplished cannot be taken away from you, which technically it can. And we'd like to recognize you and all your hard work with this Silver Creator Award, a small token of our esteem and respect. We know that you don't do this for the rewards. You do it because you have a drive to create and share, and because you found an audience who cares. That's you folks. Believe us when we say that we can't wait to see what you do next. 1 million subscribers may seem a long way off right now, but you're closer than you think. And we're rooting for you. It's kind of a redneck word to throw in there. We're rooting for you over here. Yours sincerely, and she did not capitalize, Susan Wachikiki, CEO of the YouTube. It's on really nice cardstock, thick. And they sent this to me. Here it is. I haven't even opened it yet. Of course, a little candy packet from Uline. Silica gel candy packet. There it is. I haven't even never taken out. She's a virgin. You ready? It's shiny. It's me looking at you, looking at me, looking at you over and over again. So what do you think about that? Bam. And it's got a couple little hanger things on the back. And that's That's pretty much it. So that's that. I guess that's all the hoopla over that. I didn't even know I didn't have it. Well, I guess I did, but one of my viewers brought up to me. He's like, "Hey, did you get the play button?" I'm like, "Nope." And of course, we're at like 160,000 or something. I'm not even sure where we're at today. Doesn't matter. I guess it's neither here nor there. But and then he told me, he's like, maybe you should email him. And I'm like, who do I call? I tried to call Sue. She didn't answer. Never does. So this guy did all the hard work. He went on. I assume he went on to the Google, and he's like, here, email this people. So I did. And I'll be jiggered if somebody didn't get right back to me and say, hey, somehow you slipped under the radar. I'm like, well, I wouldn't doubt it. There's like, what, 2 bazillion people on YouTube, you know? So I talked to this lady. She sent me an email. She's like, bada bing, bada boom. You'll have it in 2 weeks. And here it is. So, yeah, Sue always sends it to the voicemail. But that's it. Yeah, so now we got to wait till 1 million. You know, and that seems to be, you know, why can't they do like, 100,000 and then maybe like 500,000? Because, we ain't going to make the 1 million mark. So I think they should give you kind of something halfway. Like they should give you the bronze. They start right out with the silver. So they over reward you, and they let you, there is a third place, folks. Why don't we start out with the bronze? You get the 500,000, you might get a silver, and then boom, the gold. And then you're like king of random status. You get the diamond, something like that. I'll send an email out to Sue. Maybe I'll call her. But so that's it. We got the silver thing. I don't know what to do with it. It's been in the box here for a while now. What's the date on it? I keep forgetting. I always wanted to do something with it. I don't know what the date. It's been sitting in the office for a while. September 10th, it says. What's today? I don't even know what month it is. Jaron, we do not give out participation trophies. Just FYI. Just saying. If you ask my children, they'll tell you that. You don't get rewards for trying around here. Yeah, Jaren's always trying to get something for free, I swear. You need to send me an L1 Diet Cup. What am I going to do with that? I don't have any ASEs. But I'm not going to turn down a free cup. I mean, I stole this one from my brother. I mean, he gave it to me. What about awards for attempting to try? No, those are called participation trophies in a stupid school over here. They do that. Like, oh, your kid swung a bat at a ball. Everybody wins. Like, no, it doesn't, lady. That ain't how real life works. There's winners and there's losers. And that's just a hard fact. I'm not trying to be a dirtbag and say that, but that's just a matter of fact. If you either won the game or you lost it. I don't really, I mean, that seems very, very simple to me. There's a score, the higher number wins. They go to All-Stars, they get the trophy. Everybody else, a little pizza party. You get to go home, try again next year. That's how life works, man. If my kids get a participation trophy, I tell them you can give it back. You go throw it in the garbage, give it back. That's just, and life doesn't give you seatbelts, man. And that's why I tell them, like, when you get a job, you screw up like that, you're going to get fired. I mean, that's just the bottom line. You can't go to your job and all of a sudden tell your boss, like, well, I need to go to my safe place. You don't have a safe place, man. I don't know, whatever. I don't think it's brushed aluminum, Keith. I believe it's plastic. Oh, you just missed it, Oz. We just had the big giveaway. I just gave away $10,000. But you're like 30 seconds too late. So that's what you missed. Yeah, keep the trophy. I want a pizza party. That's right. That's what I'm saying. Don't get me started on a safe place. Do I need more syrup? I do not, Michael. With Eric Course from Course Maple Farms, they sent us a boatload there way back on What's Up Wednesday. I think we're just tapping into that supply because we already had some supply. So I just tapped his the other day. Made some waffles. What kind of apple was it? It was a red one from a tree, white center, standard issue apple. I guess it would be. Oops, whoops. Hope you guys didn't hear that. No, I'm not going to make Super Saturday. I did hit you back on Facebook, Keith. I'm not going to Super Saturday. Your safe place is SMA. How's Mrs. O doing? She's doing good. She did get over a cold that she had a while back, which she had for like a week or 2 weeks or something. And she's doing good now. So she did finish her painting, which she's got to take. She's getting it framed now. And I told her I want to put it up for auction. Now I know, Garrett. Man, Mrs. O made some bean soup yesterday, which it was good yesterday. Of course, you got to like soak the beans for like, I don't know, a couple days. And then she made bean and ham soup or stew, whatever you want to call it. And then we had it today for lunch. Oh, man, I tell you what, this smells like a septic system in here. Am I going to Vision? No, probably not. See, they always have like SEMA on the Super Saturday. I swear to these people have never, like, it is deer season, folks. And SEMA, they're like, oh, here, let's pick the peak of the rut and then have this cool car show. No, thanks. There's a whole lot better things to do than working on cars or learning about them. And that's called deer season. Yep. Yeah. I've been out hunting a couple times. So great article in Motor Age. You know, that's kind of funny, Andrew, because I didn't even get a copy. Did I troubleshoot the jumpy video issue? I didn't. I must have missed that when I was editing it. I did have a SD card that was getting wonky on me. Or no, it was when I would go from my SD card to my USB jump drive. The USB jump drive was getting wonky, so I got a different one, and that one seems to work better. And some of the videos I put out are old. Oops, missed something here. Oh yeah, no, Keith, I'm not discrediting the fact of training or anything, because I severely lack in that area myself. But I don't care what it is. I mean, unless my wife is having a baby or something, I don't give up deer season ever. Bottom line, I don't care if they're like, oh, come here and you get all the free OEM scan tools and 100 hours of training. I'd be like, nope, it's deer season. Good luck. So yeah, it is bow season. Yes. What's my favorite tool brand? Well, if Astro is still here, I'm gonna have to say Astro Tools is my favorite tool brand. Not a sponsor, but if I'm being realistic with you, whatever tool works. I'm not a tool polisher. I don't have a favorite brand. Oh, Astro's still here. I mean, if I had to choose a brand, it would definitely be Astro Tools. Check them out, astrotools.com. I don't know if that's through a website. Not a sponsor. I do have some new Astro pickle forks because you guys are coming down on me so hard because I got a mushroom head on my pickle forks. They felt bad and sent me some. So now I have some new ones that it's going to take me years to get nice big mushrooms on the end of them like my old ones. The dog from the Jetsons? Oh, that's Astro. I had to sing the song in my head. Meet George Jetson, his boy Elroy. I'm like, what's the dog's name? His daughter Judy. Oh, yours mushroom like the rest of them? Yeah, I know, but you know how many years it takes to get a good mushroom on there when it comes off and catches you in the arm and leaves you leaking on the floor? Years. Where Jeep's on the other side. We already talked about this. You should grind them off. I don't know. There's a lot of things I should do. Usually I'm told in the comment section. But yeah, I don't really know what else to talk about now. Pretty much wore me out. We did the play button thing. I got rid of we talked about that wasn't lying to you about the undercoating business. Do I ride? Do I ride what? Bicycles or motorcycles? Rosie is the maid, yeah. I did say tool polisher. Absolutely. I'm not a tool polisher. I hardly even clean my tools. I mean, I never even, well, I shouldn't say never oil my air tools. I do. Everybody oils their air tools usually when they quit working, and then we call up like, hey, Astro, yeah, I got this tool. I've always ran it at 90 PSI, on a regulator, oiled it every day. Our air tool starts acting funny. We take some air tool oil, we dump a whole bunch of this crap in it, squeeze the trigger a few times, bam. If it works, we're good. If not, well, we get a new one. See, Astro knows the truth, man. They know no one oils air tools. And if you want to really know the truth, Astro tools, if you're out there listening, ain't nobody running pressure regulators either. Women and children and body shops pretty much have regulators. My regulator is when the air compressor kicks off, which is about 165-ish, sometimes 170. Oh, the only other time that I oil my air tools, and this is a good trick, Grandma taught me this. Let's say you're trying to take out a Honda crankshaft bolt, you don't have the special socket. Well, sit there and hold the trigger on your impact, just out in midair, just so it's screaming until the air compressor kicks on. Once that kicks on, unhook your hose, dump a whole bunch of whatever you got. It doesn't matter. Air tool oil, Croil, WD-40, just fill that sucker full, because the first 5 or 6 ugga-duggas, that oil is going to take up that space. Well, I guess it does. It's going to make it seal up a little better. It's going to spray oil everywhere. But then 5 or 6 ugga-duggas are going to get the bolt out. Trust me. It's like nitro for your air tools. Do I have an intern opening? I don't. I'm waiting for my boy Josh to come back. Which, that's a terrible idea. They're pneumatic, not hydraulic. But I tell you what, Astro, you try that. Put it on your little Skidmore and, tink, 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 tink. You're like, oh, this thing's only 150 foot-pounds. You fill it up with oil, I'll probably snap the nut off it. Then you can write on the box, 10,000 breakaway foot-pounds of torque. And then you'll be just like every other air tool sales place that lies to you. I'm not insinuating the Astro lies to you, because they put like the real data. They're like, oh, this is 400 foot-pounds. And their competitors like, ours is 7,000. That's because they put oil in it, lots of it. Oh, he's actually done it on a Skidmore. I should have known. Yeah, exactly. Like Mike Owen says, it's like adding oil to a bad cylinder. Boom, you got compression. Well, Tony says he can't believe undercoat does that much damage. A lot of controversy on that, Tony, as we talked about earlier. People think I'm lying to their faces and saying that truck wasn't done when it was new. It 100% was. I can get every single receipt from every single year it's been back. Was it improper installation, preparation? Perhaps. The fact is, I see it a lot, and they all look the same. They're all rotted out. Bottom line. Preparation or not, why do they have to spray all the freaking wiring harnesses and everything you ever want to get to? You can't get, you can't get this crap off. I don't know. It doesn't bond to metal worth a piss, but it will stick to plastic like you've never seen. You'll destroy the connector before you get it off. Yeah, Z-barf. Who am I pulling for in a football game? The Bears. I don't even know if they're playing, but that's the only football team I know, because I watch Saturday Night Live. And I pick on my kids all the time about it. Hey, what's your favorite team, huh? Hey, the Bears. I don't watch football or baseball or tennis or soccer or whatever else on TV. I don't have TV. So I don't know. You could ask me like, who's the president? What's the current events? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what's happening. Don't really care. I know that's probably going to sound silly to some people, but the fact is, when you watch the news, all you do is one, you either get pissed off, depressed, or scared because that's all the crap they put on the news. So why watch it? I haven't seen news and I haven't had TV in, let's see, 11, 13 years. Yeah, and I'm not missing anything. I do have the Netflix, so on my computer, and I'm out of shows to watch because they all suck. So I'm going to turn off Netflix too, because it's ridiculous. Because like you watch these reality shows, okay? Me personally, I like watching food shows. It's kind of like Mrs. O calls it my food porn, and I love watching cooking shows because I like to see what people make, see how they make it. I don't know, sounds ridiculous, right? But they have this British cooking show, and these people are legit. You know, they're like me. They got crooked teeth. Their teeth are yellow. They're overweight. They're bald. You know, just normal people and cooking regular food. And then so I watched that series. I'm like, oh, it's a great show. I love that show. I want to move to England or the UK because the people there seem so cool. Plus, all their buildings are brick, which I think is fantastic. But besides that, so I finished watching that show. Then I get my Netflix, like, oh, I'll watch this, American version of it. And it's like, all these girls that have perfect teeth and, boob jobs and everything else. And everything's like a big competition, like, oh, they got to get this done in 5 seconds or their whole family's going to die. I'm like, why? I thought we were cooking pizza. I don't know. And then every show is like that. Every friggin', reality show, it's like they got this big deadline and, if they don't do it, everybody's fired and they're out $10 million. I'm like, I just want to learn how to bake a muffin, come on. So whatever. So that's all the shows I'm left with. I've watched every bit of British TV, which are like real TV programs on Netflix, and now there's really nothing left to watch. So that's where I'm at. Why can't they just have like a reality TV show? So I watched this hunting one. I'm on there. It was like something, Wild Alaska or something like that. And you got these 2 guys, and they get brought in by this outfitter, flown in on a float plane, and they're out there. And, I'm looking at their gear, marveling over it, And the guy's like, yeah, we're having what they call a meat crisis. And he's acting like he's out there because he's got to like feed his family. Like, dude, you got a $3,000 spotting scope and you got flown in by an outfitter. You're there for 10 days, like, shooting this custom Remington 700, just everything he has. He had $10,000 worth of gear and you're telling me you're out there because you're out of meat. Dude, you ever heard of a supermarket? You could buy like, 6 beef cows, man. And then they pump it all up like, oh, this is the last day of the hunt. If he doesn't get this moose, his whole family's going to be without meat for the year. It's like, dude, this guy's getting on a plane and going back to the city. He ain't going to be out of meat. Trust me. Why can't they just be like, here, we're going to do this hunting show. These guys flow in here. They got a buttload of money. We got a TV crew. We're going to film what it's like to stay in the Alaska wilderness for 10 days by yourself. That'd still be a great show. Why hype it up? Anyways, why are we even talking about this? You just get me pumped up because I ain't got nothing to watch on Netflix. That's why I watch the YouTube, because you guys are real. Oh, there it is. There's Daniel Valdez. I believe he's the one that told me about the play button and got me in contact. We already showed it, Daniel. Where you been, man? It's right here in the box. He's the one that inspired me and did all the legwork. See, Keith Bergen, he just watches YouTube. Some of you are real, I know. Yeah, Hannah and Marie fixed her car a while ago. I got to put that video together sometime. JC, I know you're real because you owe me a real bottle of moonshine. I'm just kidding. You don't have to send it, JC. But you said you would. I'm just saying. Oh, TDM, you missed the displaying of the button. Well, maybe if you didn't drive a Land Rover, you could be here on time. I totally burned you with that. Burned, get wrecked. That's what my kids would say. Oh, man, you just got wrecked. That's the new thing. Because I was always like, oh, man, you got burned, you got slid. My kids are like, nobody says that anymore. I'm like, what do they say? Get wrecked. I'm like, well, when I was a kid, well, not a kid, let's say late teens, early 20s, when you went out and got wrecked, that means like you got really drunk. Man, I got wrecked last night. Not now. Now it's something, instead of getting burned, you get wrecked. I'm like, so I think some kid like heard his dad say it. Now they've like adapted it, like toned it down a little bit. Because when my kids like tell me he got wrecked, I'm like, dude, you're 11. But oh, come on, TDM. Do I like motorbikes? I do. I had one, Honda Nighthawk, but they scare me. So, I mean, not really like scary, but I have a fear of hitting the pavement at 70 miles an hour. I guess I don't think that's too unrealistic to fear. I'd rather take my chances, flying through a windshield or something. Oh, Claire says hi, or Claire E. I don't know. Oh, man, these are zipping by all too quick. Yes, Hannah is Keith's daughter. Yes, that's what Mike was just saying. Oh, where are we? Holy smokes. I'm going to try to scan some of these with my eagle eyes. Oh, our thumbs downer felt bad and took it away. Wow. Way to repent. Let's see. What happened to Marie? I don't know. She's probably at work. Not a babysitter. Was it busy today? It was. I need to get this rust bucket in here. I guess they're all rust buckets. And I'm not getting down on a customer's car when I say, oh, man, this thing's a toilet or it's rusty. That's just a fact. That's a matter of fact, man. That's a 2000. What year is that thing? It's got eagle eye or slanted eyes on it. So it's an 05 at least. 05, 06, somewhere's in there. I think 06. That's it, baby. Welcome to New York, man. You got a nice truck? Kiss it goodbye. Oh, now I got 2 thumbs down. Look at that. Jerks. Whatever, I don't care. Nobody even looks at them things anyways. Why do diesels bring back bad memories for me? I worked with my dad in a diesel shop. And that's enough said. And one time I got sick smelling diesel fuel when I was just a young boy. I was home and I was sick. And I remember it clearly. My brother's, well, I guess it would be his wife now. It was his girlfriend at the time, was watching me, I guess, babysitter. I don't want to use the word baby, but child watching to make sure I wasn't being a little jerk, well, if I'm honest. And I was sitting at the kitchen table and eating some macaroni and cheese from a box, even though I was sick. Probably a very poor choice on the babysitter's part to, prepare that for me. And then my brother came inside and he was wearing coveralls and he just helped my dad do something. He's like completely covered with diesel fuel. And like as soon as the smell wafted me through the kitchen, I instantly got sick. And from that day, I have hated the smell of diesel fuel. So you're talking, I'm what, 39? So this is like 25 years ago, 26 years ago. I still, this day, I hate the smell of diesel fuel. So yeah, that's that. And then just the horror of working at my dad's shop. I hate diesel stuff. They're big and they stink and everything's greasy and weighs 5,000 pounds. Like, oh, here, let me put the starter in. I hope you can bench press 800 pounds, fella. Oh, it wasn't working with the family. It sucked. It was just working on big stuff. My dad loves working on big stuff. So that's funny, JC. You got the same disease I have, the Kraft macaroni and cheese disease. I swear right now, if I had me some Kraft macaroni and cheese and that little thing of diesel fuel, I'd be puking all over the place. Let's see what the people are saying here. Oh, gosh. It gets me every time, Keith. I can't share that with you. It's slightly inappropriate, but it's pretty funny. Yeah, 800-pound starter. Yeah, they are. They're 780, ish. Let's see. No, I can't even give you a hint on that, Jersky. Oh, one sip of vodka? Come on, Keith. I thought you were professional. Yeah, there's definitely people from all over the world in here. And I told Mrs. O, there's a couple things I want to do before I die. It's on my bucket list. First of all, I've never been on an airplane. But I think the first time I get on an airplane, we're going across the pond. I want to go to the UK, England, somewhere's over there where they talk funny. Because I like their culture from what I see on TV. They seem pretty laid back. They drive on the wrong side of the road. They obviously don't care. And the wilderness there looks amazing. And the homes, it's like going back in time. So I want to go there before I die, and while I'm still able to do stuff, I want to go there. So someday I'll come over and visit some of you folks across the pond, because that's on my bucket list. And the other thing I want to do is I want to see a whale. I know that might sound ridiculous, but that is on my bucket list. I want to see a whale. Yeah, pretty exciting stuff. I don't know, something about a 40-ton fish that kind of is like, all right, I kind of like to see this thing. You see them on TV. I want to be out there in a little dinghy, when that thing comes up out of the water. I mean, so, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. What are you guys saying about the English people? Am I thinking wrong? Let's see. Yeah, I want to go like Scotland or Ireland. Frankly, because I want to go to a place called the pub. Like, hey, we're going to the pub. Bring over the old trouble and strife. I've even been practicing my Cockney rhyming, so when I get over there, I can understand the people. Let's see. I'm pretty sure it's a decent place to go. I'm not sure what there is to do there other than go to the pub. But that's okay with me. I'll be on vacation anyways. What we got here? Man, there's freaking, this thing is going well. Watch the view. Hunt the whale. And I don't want to hunt. I don't want to kill no whale. I just want to go out and see one. I just think it'd be kind of, I don't know, kind of cool. I mean, around here we catch, sunfish and bass. I think it'd be pretty sweet to see a freaking 40-ton fish come swimming up at you when you're in your little 20-foot dinghy. I'm not sure if they even go out whale watching in a rowboat. But I don't know, take chances, I did do a little fishing the other day. Let's see here. I was up walking by my pond and I see that my son left his fishing pole out. So I picked it up, and then of course I couldn't help it but throw it in the water. Let's see here. So you guys, my big catch. Wait for this thing to set. Bam! That's my big catch. He's a little bluegill, panfish. Ain't no whale. I caught that one, and I caught another one. And actually, you can catch like a bazillion of these things, but they're pretty good size. They're for a bluegill. Panfish are usually pretty small. It's not focusing. Focus. There it is. So I was actually catching them on pieces of bread. So I stayed up at the cabin the other night. I wasn't in the doghouse. Just me and Sheba stayed up at the cabin, and I had some hot dog buns and some hot dogs and had them for breakfast, oddly enough. But that's what I had to cook, so that's what I cooked. And so I took a little piece of the hot dog or bun and flicked it out in the water, and bloop, I see the fish coming up, hitting it pretty good. So I tricked them fish. I threw them in a couple more and say, hey, this is safe. Eat this. This is safe food. Bam, had a hook in it. After about 4 or 5 of them, they smartened up. Where's the cabin? It's in my woods. And it has a small pond by it. A cabin in the woods. Was I boozing well at the cabin? No, my God. I got up and went hunting the next morning, so I just wanted to stay up there to pull a sneak on the deer, you know. What's my beer of choice? Homie asks. My all-time favorite is Yingling. All around just drinking beer. Do I like fish and chips? I've never had it, but I have had a fish fry, what we call in the United States, which is essentially a piece of, you know, I don't know if it's halibut or haddock usually, I guess it would be, deep fried, beer battered, and you get it with French fries, which I assume is what you call chips, you know, deep fried potatoes. So Friday night fish fry, United States, kind of, I think it's a thing all around the U.S. Is that right? Is the fish fry on Friday nights, that ain't just a New York thing, right? That's all around the United States. Tell me if I'm wrong. I'll wait for it to come up here. Pond's only about 10 feet deep. Nope. Yeah. Yes. We're talking about the fish fry here. Everybody here, Friday night, you get fish fry. That's what it is. New York thing? Wow, these are going on all over the place here. I'm seeing some yeses flip up through there, but yeah, fish fry, Friday night fish fry. And usually you'll have like a Thursday or a Saturday that'll be prime rib. So if you want, you know, most restaurants kind of are like, you know, in that theme, you know, Wednesdays are usually like pasta days. At least that's the way it is in like all the grease joints, you know. Usually from what I've seen, you know, Wednesdays, you know, pasta of some sort, lasagna. And then, you know, Thursdays or Saturdays are prime rib. Friday's always fish fry. Yeah, so that's it. Oh man, me and Mrs. O, we went out to dinner. Oh, it was like a month ago. Went to this fancy schmancy place. We like to eat good food if we go out to dinner, and we went to the Pleasant Valley Inn, where you drink your coffee like this. I got some oysters Rockefeller, kind of spendy. They're so amazing. I mean, amazing. Them things were fantastic. They were just an appetizer, about the cost of a meal, but really good. He gets fried going fishing. Yeah, I know some folks like that. Do I want an apprentice? I do not. He likes his beer like he likes his coffee. Well, I know a good joke to that, you know, because most people are like, I like my coffee like I like my women, you know, and then they, you know, fill in the blank. So the guy told me that the other day. I thought it was pretty funny. He's like, I like my coffee like I like my women. I was like, yeah, how's that? He's like, without a PP, you can fill in the blank there. I thought it was kind of a funny joke at the time. Oh, Yorkshire. See, I wouldn't mind going to Yorkshire. I don't even know where that is, but I enjoy it when I get some letters from across the pond because these folks over there, they live in really great places, or they at least sound fantastic just based on their address. They say, you know, like he lives at 7406 Yorkshire Avenue in Kensington. You know, it's these really fancy names. I don't know. I don't know if they're fancy or not, but Yorkshire. I don't know where anything is. I don't even know where England is. Get in a plane, turn left, keep flying. You'll get there. Have you discussed why? Whoops! Whoa! Started reading that one. Have you discussed why you haven't hired help? The unseen cost. But is there other reasons you don't want one? I would really have to think about that. Yes, there is a big cost that is, associated with hiring anybody. Granted, that person should make you money, assuming they can do their job and tasks given. Of course, I work on a variety of different vehicles, Asian and domestic, and a variety of different types of repairs, everything from, diagnosis to, crappy brake line jobs, you name it. Beyond that, why I wouldn't hire anybody, I think you'll find the common trend around here, particularly if you watch, like the Train by Tex and Keith, over at New Level, and a lot of these guys, they'll have like their little roundtable discussions, and you'll follow groups on Facebook where guys talk about a lack of people in this industry, and that's a lot of it too. There are a lot of people that want jobs, but they don't ever want to get from where they're at to get any better, to better themselves. So it's difficult. I would say it's difficult. Even if I put out let's say I put out a wanted ad right now, put something in the paper, Craigslist, wherever you advertise for help, I would get a lot of people showing up that have little or no experience at all, or they have some experience, a limited amount of tools. They want, $35 an hour, 3 weeks vacation, full benefits, and, a company vehicle, but don't want to, go beyond, what they already know. It's a really tough business to find help in, reliable help. I guess I'll just leave it at that. I don't know. You could go on about that all the time. It's a tough industry, and I think it's a dying industry, or so it seems, to find somebody. I think it's just a matter of fact. Kids nowadays, they've yanked all these vocational programs out of school. They've shut down shop class. They've shut down auto shop. They've closed all the welding programs. And these kids are being told that they're going to be engineers and IT guys. Good luck. I'm telling my kids, learn a skill. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's auto mechanics, a plumber, an electrician. Earn a skill that can't be outsourced, because in about 10 years, you're going to be able to name your price. And that's a matter of fact, because all these kids that are getting college degrees and nothing against, going to college, but, they're getting jobs that can be outsourced to India or China or wherever else. They're just going to go the cheapest bidder, and when they're sitting at home and their toilet's broken, they don't have a clue how it works, how to change a light socket, how to do basic car maintenance. They're going to be at your mercy. Not that you can take advantage of them. I just believe that the trade industry is going to be severely lacking in people, and the people that do it and do it well are going to do well and always have a job. Clearly, I mean, I could quit today and go get a job somewhere else, I'm pretty sure. And I don't care what I do. I'd go work on a farm. You can do whatever. I'd go, work as a laborer for a carpenter, whatever. Yep. So I say learn a trade. I know there's probably people that disagree with that, but I don't know. If you can do something that can't be outsourced, you're probably better off. Yep. Man, this is going. Yeah, sometimes I don't even like saying this stuff because I know people get kind of pumped up about it, but it is what it is, and it's just what you see. I mean, a lot of dudes with man buns and skinny jeans nowadays. But it kind of sucks they took all the programs. I loved our shop program. I didn't get along with the teacher very well, and I did set the place on fire. And as I got kicked out of school, I don't want to say it's because of him, but it's because of my bad attitude against him, because he was a jerk to me. That one little fire, and then they're like, "You're kicking you out of school. You set the building on fire." Well, he was being a jerk. So But beyond that, I did like the building program at school. We learned, how to draft, drafting, scale drawings, basic stuff, how to read tape measure, how to use stuff, how to use power tools, all kinds of stuff, how to get pissed off. That's what happened to me. Yeah, fires happen. That's what I'm saying. A couple wood burners in the pile, lock the door, go to lunch. Did not find the humor in that. Yep, man buns and skinny jeans. Yeah, how to set fire. Yeah, I don't like really reliving the moment because I did feel kind of bad once it was all over, but the guy made me really mad. Eric, arson. Oh, no, it wasn't really an arson. It was just a crime of opportunity, we'll call it. I was so mad, man. It still makes me mad because I would still have that scale model house that we built, but I drop kicked the sucker. I was so mad. I was furious. How did it happen? Well, see, it wasn't our senior because it was only 10th grade when I got kicked out. We made these scale houses. They took all year, so we took our scale drawings. And we had to make scale houses. I mean, like I don't remember what scale size they were, but every little stud, the shingles on the roof, and they were like cutaway versions. So like this half of the house was finished, and then it went to the underlayment on the roof trusses, and then the exposed trusses, and then the walls and the the siding and the basement, the subfloor, and everything. It was a really great project. It took all year. Get to the end, I go to get my grade. We got to take them up, ask us questions about it, and then this thing was cherry. I did the best job I could do on it. And he gives me a 64. Passing grade is a 65. My fuse is about that long when I was in school. I was a little hothead, as my dad called it. So I was like, so I picked the thing up and just booted it, because that's what you do when you're in 10th grade, or at least that's what I did. And I was freaking furious. I was so mad because I worked so hard on that thing. And apparently, from what he told the cops and the principal, is that he was joking. If you know I'm a little bit, don't joke, be like, I'm going to give you 64. Just kidding. Something like that. Be quick to, make up and be like, I'm really going to give you, 66. Let me pass here, fella. So I booted that sucker. It went a bunch of pieces, and then I retaliated, and I came back in the room when he was gone, and I stuck some wood burners in the wood pile and plugged them all in. I was like, I'll burn this place down. This is a terrible story to be telling you. So, because it was a bad decision, clearly. And once he found that little hoo-ha smoking over in the corner after lunch, assumed it was me. Of course, I confessed to it because, you don't want to go to prison. But anyhow, so that was my last day in high school. And then I had to go to the bad boy school after that, which that really didn't help matters any, because now you just have accomplices for all your bad crap you're going to do. Like, I don't know. But that has all changed. Just FYI, I no longer, burn down schools or anything, but he shouldn't have said that. I'm not trying to blame it on it. It was completely my fault, 100%. No questions asked. But anyways, yeah. So they don't have that class anymore. So really, I mean, worst a kid can do now is crumple up his paper and throw it away and be like, yep. Yeah, it turned out okay. So yeah, because that's where I met Mrs. O's at the bad kids school. Yep, it wasn't bad kids. Well, yeah, it was BOCES right there. It was BOCES. That's where, like, when you get kicked out of regular school, you had to go to that school. So that's where I went. And then I took building trades in that school, which was fantastic. Fantastic class. Oh, Mrs. O did not straighten me out, Brandon. See, I could tell you some stories about that girl. You think I was bad? Why do you think her and I got along so good? I cannot tell you what all she has done, because she would be upset with me for telling you stories about that. Took me a while to wrangle in Mrs. O, though, I'll tell you that much. But I was pretty sneaky, pretty crafty little fella, as you might guess, when Mrs. O didn't seem to have what I call the interest in me. Of course, I had the interest in her. I'm going to tell you what. So what I did, because I was a tad bit of a schmooger, I was like, well, if I can't win her over, I'll win over her mama. Because I knew her dad, because I used to work at the gun store, and I'd see her dad all the time, and she'd come in with him once in a while. I know she's eyeing me up. I was eyeing her up. She'd look once in a while and be like, pfft. So I don't know if that's what they look like when you're eyeing you up, but she'd definitely give you the look, you know. And so I was like, well, I'll go up and just like be nice to her mom and stuff. So I started doing that. I'd stop up like, oh, hey, is Vanessa here? And of course she wasn't, because she was at her boyfriend's house. And then I'd talk to her mom for a while, and then her mom would tell her how sweet I was and how nice I was, and bam, just like that. So now I'm working her from this angle. Now her mom's working her from this angle. Next thing you know, bada bing, bada boom. Yep. Good old Mrs. O. I knew deep down inside what was good for her. Yep. What was it? What was the final moment? Oh, it was when she needed a car. She wrecked her Trofeo. And her mom, of course, her mom called me and told me and says, you know, she wanted to find a car for Vanessa. And I was like, I'm all over this. Yep. Boom. Next day, had her car. Chevy Corsica, a white one, 1994 Corsica. Had leaky injector O-rings on it. But I fixed them up for her, no problem. Free. Yep. Oops. So that's how that worked. That was kind of the story in a nutshell, but there's a lot more to it, as there is most stories, you know. I remember one time I really made Vanessa mad. We were dating. I don't remember what I did, but I had an apartment. She was at my apartment. And my buddy Matt was there. He had this Volkswagen Wolfsburg edition Jetta. I guess it would be an old one. Either way, she's mad. She went stomping out, pretty mad at me for something. Probably something I said. Typically, my mouth is usually what's gotten me in trouble every time. And she like gets in her car, and he parked like right directly behind her. She's like, boom, fires it up. She like pops in reverse, smashes that sucker right to the floor. Wham! Right in the front end of his car. It was freaking hilarious. I mean, she didn't think it's hilarious because she's like crying, you know, she's upset. Of course, me and my buddy Matt, we look out, we hear the commotion. Like, here's like the whole back end of her Corsa all jacked up in the air. His car's like shoved back. It was so funny. I'm sure she didn't think it was funny, but it was pretty funny. Yep. I remember that Wolfsburg edition because we had a cold start injector on it, mechanical fuel injection with a cold start injector, just a regular, you know, injector in the intake manifold. And we bypassed it and hooked it to a toggle switch because we thought it made the car better at higher RPMs. Honestly, I don't think it did anything. But that's how we had it. It was pretty fun. I don't know. I'm not going to give you any story about Mrs. O. She would not be happy with me, and I would respect the fact that she wouldn't approve of that. Good night, James. What else we got? Nope, no stories about Mrs. O. Don't even ask. I don't even know which one I would begin with. Let's see. She is a wonderful. I love my wife, so I'm not gonna do that. I'll tell you crappy stories about me all day long. Yeah, Mrs. O. She. Oh, I remember she crashed in a couple things. We used to have this vehicle we called the Cheap. It was a Chevy S10 Blazer frame, the body was stripped off. We welded some seats to it and put a Jeep front end on it. We used to drive it around through the woods and stuff. And it was me and like my buddy Mike and Vanessa, and I think there was some other girl there. But we were like, you know, this was before we had kids, so we was just, you know, hang out and stuff. And it was really late at night, and we were like way out in the middle of like nowheres with this thing in the woods. And like we stopped because we got to take a leak. So me and my buddy Mike, you know, we jump out. Yeah, I think it was just the three of us. We jump out. We're taking a leak. All of a sudden, boom, she's in the driver's seat. She drops the thing and drive, like no headlights or nothing. Just like smashes the throttle. And right in front of her was like this humongous freaking tree. And the Jeep wails into the thing, and she's like got it to the rug, and it like climbed on probably, you know, about like a 45 degrees angle until the back bumper hit. And we're like, you know, we're standing there with her, you know, so we're, you know, get down, we go chasing after her, and like, you know, here she is wailed into this tree halfway up it, laughing. She thought that was the funniest thing. I was like, I'm kind of glad that tree was there because that was gonna be a long walk home. Yep. Oh man, we used to have a lot of, I could tell you a bunch of stories. Go Mrs. O. Yep. Tried to tick off on us. Let's see. What else we got? I am liking the T-handle nut driver set, Denny. Good thing because I bent my 10 millimeter one, to be honest with you. Don't ask me how I was actually using it in a very non-usable way, but it fit perfectly for what I needed to do, and now it is bent very badly. But I have another one, so it's not a big deal. Are people still calling? Yeah, Fred, they're still calling. Am I going to upgrade the camera so you can see the pores in my skin? You already can, RL Agito. If you look closely, you can see my psoriasis, the little hairs that grow out of your strawberry-looking nose, the white crust that forms in the corner. It should pick that up quite well. Am I ASE certified? Nope. I do not have any videos from Staten Island. I haven't been down to visit my boy Keith in quite a while. Oops, man, the beans. Oh, man, they're wrecking me right now. I'm trying not to be rude. I'm going to have to step away for a minute. Oh. What else am I going to tell you? Everybody asks about these all the time. The Harbor Freight Impacts. How do I like them? How are they doing? I thought about doing a video called the 1 year review, but I really don't know what to put in it. So there's one. Here's the other one from 11/14/17. We marked it when we got it. It is used daily, and it still works, just like the day it was new. I don't really know what to say. So that's your 1 year review in a nutshell. Here's the two of them. I use them every single day. They have put on thousands of lug nuts and taken them off and done all sorts of stuff and been broke and dropped and kicked. And I mean, it's got some use. This is, you want to watch a review video? This is it. The lights are a little dimmer because they don't like brake cleaner. They still work. It still has the original batteries. And, you know, they still work. They still light up. The only thing that has happened is way back in the beginning, I dropped this one, as I typically do, and it busted the little corner off here. That's my nugget. That's my nugget finger. So it's supposed to look like that, nice and smooth, but it's not. It's a little jagged, and unfortunately, that is where the battery locks into it. So what happens if you're going full bore ugga-duggas on something? Sometimes it'll jiggle the battery loose because that little piece right there is broken. See how it looks there? It's supposed to look like that there, like that right there. But it looks like that right there. That's because it dropped and the battery went flying, and then I picked it up and probably dropped it again. So that's your Harbor Freight 1 year review. If it broke, would I buy another one? You betcha. The heck with Snap-on. You can, this will, if you guys want a good 1/2 inch cordless impact, don't hesitate to buy the Earthquake from the Horrible Freight. That's the real life review right there. It worked. It worked for a year in a real life shop. That is the legit torture test of any tool. You give me a tool, if it makes it through the 1 year period, it's good. What RTV do I use? I'm a big fan of Permatex Ultra Gray. It depends on what I'm doing, actually. You know, I've got some Permatex stuff that I use on transmission pans. I've got a different Permatex I use in association with gear oil. But as a general overall good sealant, Permatex Ultra Gray has always been my fave. What caused my nugget finger? Psoriatic arthritis. You should see my toes. So it makes my fingers all crooked and, you know, your distal phalanges, I guess they would be. Gets them all wonky. What else we got? Somebody's pimping their own channel, this Bethany Gaming HD, that says she's live and wants positive people only. I didn't know you could pimp yourself out on other people's live streams, Bethany. Any serious diagnostic videos? I tend to think they're all serious. But no, I don't have anything in the pipeline. Who knows what'll come in. I just had a Chevrolet in here today, 2000 with no 4-wheel drive. Front end was locked in. He's coming back next week, I think. I just used a scan tool, unlocked the front end, unplugged his motor, and sent him on his way. Oops. What else we got here? Oh, Chevy. It was Chevrolet. That's what we call him. Yeah, just don't program your channel. It's not cool. You bring the bug. No, don't bring me no Volkswagens. Big D. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, they're zipping. You got a little too zippy zap. Yeah, I smell some popcorn. What scan tools do I like? I like a lot of different ones. I like my Altel. I like my little Diagun. I like all of them. I've never done a scan tool video because I don't believe that anybody can do a legitimate scan tool comparison video with any type of credibility to it, because perhaps the scan tool that they're showing is better than, you know, scan tool A is better than scan tool B on the particular vehicle they're working on. Well, let's face it, most of these scan tools, you know, advertised to work on Asian, domestic, European, you know, Chinese cars, all kinds of stuff. I mean, that, you know, 150 different car lines they work on. So how can we base a scan tool review off from one vehicle? Let's say we hook it up to Chevrolet, and, you know, the launch is like, nah, okay, the Altel's, but the OTC is fantastic. But then we switch car lines, we go on something else. Now somebody spent their hard-earned money on this tool, and for their particular car, well, this scan tool sucks. I'm likely never going to do a scan tool review video, because there's too many variables. Too many of them work good on certain car lines, but really suck on other car lines. You know, like I like the Mode 6 data, the enhanced Mode 6 data on the OTC tools, because it deciphers all the X's and O's and ones and zeros for you and turns it into plain English. Where, you know, I want to look at Mode 6 data, let's say on Snap-on, and it's like, you know, you might better be staring at your shoe. So that's my thought on that. I don't know how to do an honest, legitimate, helpful review to anybody. It would be a fantastic video for views, because people like clicking on that. If I said, you know, oh, Altel beats Snap-on, well, that's instantly 500,000 views right there, because if you put Snap-on sucks into any title, you get a ton of views. But I'm not going to do that just for the clicks, because unless you guys can tell me a way to do a legitimate scan tool comparison, I don't really see how it's doing it. Other than me just using it every day and working on cars, I don't see how to really compare it. AMSOIL or Redline? Mobile One. Let's see. Did I go to tech school? I did not. Ooh. Opinions on Subarus. Buy some wheel bearings and a head gasket and you'll absolutely love them. That's my Subaru in a nutshell. Toyota or Jeep? Toyota. Snap-on sucks Wednesdays. Those would be fantastic videos. Oh, speaking of Snap-on sucks, let me tell you something. So I've got my Snap-on Vantage Pro, which you guys know, it's kind of an older tool. The battery in it was from 2008. And of course, it's lost its pizzazz and it's getting kind of annoying to use because you turn it on and you might get 3 minutes, you might get 20 minutes and the battery fizzles out. So no big deal. I do some Googling. I see there's some online companies that will rebuild the battery pack for, $89 or $99, whatever. So my Snap-on guy, he comes in. I'm like, hey, how much for a new battery for the Vantage Pro? He tells me $129.99. Okay, whatever. I'd rather have a brand new one than send this to, some company and have it rebuilt. So he orders me a new one. Mind you, I'm using the tool almost daily. It's actually sat over on my bench when he showed up with my new battery. So I take it. It's plugged in because I got to keep it plugged in. So I shut it off. I slip out the old battery. I slip in the new battery. Blue screen of death. It will not boot up any longer. It's done. Just like that. Broke. It does not work. I take that battery out, put the old battery back in. Nothing. Blue screen. Broke. So I'm like, WTF. That's what I'm saying in my mind. Of course, the Snap-on guy's gone at this point. So, what do you do? Is this a coincidence or is there something wonky in that battery? I don't know. I checked the voltage on the battery. It's the same as the one I took out. It's the same part number and everything. And I physically checked it with the meter thinking maybe this thing's charged up to like 20 bazillion volts and it just went nuclear. So anyhow, so I called Snap-on Tech, who they're typically the biggest, cover your ears, kids, a-holes that you talk to. They're always super cocky. I hate talking to them on the phone. Anyhow, that's out of the way. Call them up, tell them what happened. Says, hey, got this Vantage Pro. Immediately called a loser. He's like, well, let me tell you something, pal. Yeah, that Vantage Pro, if that's broke, you're going to want to send it in because we're discontinuing all service for them as of 12/31/18. Okay, well, let me tell you my story. Here's what happens. Like, maybe it's a coincidence. Of course, I shouldn't have given them that thought. Yeah, pure coincidence. So they got 3 levels of repair. The first level starts out at $300, and that includes like the buttons and the screen protector. Like, wow. So I can get brand new buttons and a screen protector, and they'll clean the hand grips for $300. Sign me up. The next level of repair is like mid 600s, and then like the ultimate level, like level 3, is like a $1,300 fix. I'm like, I said, I paid $600 for the freaking tool. I'll throw it in the garbage. It's just stupid. It just pisses me off because it was fine until I got the other battery. Maybe it is coincidence. I mean, it very well could be. But it just seems kind of odd, like here it is, I'm using it. Like I was using it on the video that I put out today for the Ford with the battery going dead problem because I had it hooked in series and I was watching the draw and it was at 15 milliamps. So I took my meter and stuff back out, had it sitting. It actually still sits on the bench over there in that black box, right? Right there, that black box that's floating on my hand mysteriously. If I knew how to do that a little better, I would. Can't figure it out right there. That little black box right there. Sounds like somebody needs a fire. I'm going to fire up the wood burners. We're going to go to Snap-on, take care of some business. But of course you can't because they own like everything. They got their hands in everything. Chrysler software. They've got it in Mitchell Pro Demand. They've got it in the Napa program now. It's like, what doesn't Snap-on own behind the scenes? Everything. I think they're planning to take over the world. So that kind of sucks. So what do I do with it? Yeah, I'll send it in, but they're going to call back with some ridiculous estimate. And I'm just going to tell the guy to punt it, Hold it up right between your hands, fella. Punt that thing like a model house and go get some wood burners. So that's that, which sucks because I really, I like the tool. It's handy. I like the fact that it has a big screen. It's nothing special by any means. It's special for people who like have Snap-on tattoos and stuff that really love their stuff, which I'm not knocking their products. I mean, some of their stuff is fantastic. But the fact is I bought it used. Well, not used. It was new old stock for $600. And I've had it for, I don't know, maybe 2 years now. It just kind of sucked that it's gone because I like the screen. I like the way it's navigates around, and the fact that it does have a very mediocre scope at best, but it's still handy. It's just handy. That's all there is to it. So that's it. So I'm gonna send it in, see what happens, but it kind of sucks. The good news is I've still got the old trusty MT2400 green screen, which still works fantastic. But it's just kind of amazing, when you talk to them, if you don't have like the latest, the greatest, they just treat you like a dog turd. Like, oh, the Vantage Pro. I didn't realize you were a loser. Like, oh, sorry, pal. Send me your Vantage Ultra. Then they'd be like, oh, you got the Vantage Ultra, huh? Welcome to the club. Whatever, dude. It doesn't make me fix a car any faster. I just don't want to bust out a multimeter. I haven't used my multimeter in forever. I have to learn how to do it again. I just like the big screen. So, where are we? Come on, you loser. Yeah, I know. Oh, he's a Snap-on tech support guy, isn't he? And then when I told the guy, I was like, yeah, it's not a huge deal. I still got my MT2400. I thought he was going to be like, oh, man, that's sweet. I love that tool. He was like, didn't even know what it was. I'm like, you tell any other guy in the shop, like, yeah, I still got original Snap-on Vantage MT2400 mint condition. They're going to be jealous because that tool was awesome. But according to Snap-on, you're a loser if you still have that tool because it's old and you can't use it. You can't use that working on cars. That's old. Yes, you can. So, anyways, hold the power button down for 1 minute. Are you serious, Paul? Oh, Paul, if that thing fixes it, I'm gonna hug you. So here's what happens. Let's turn it on. Freaking jerk. That's why I don't start, Phil. You got no freaking battery. I'll be right back. Hold your horses. Oh man, I got the running parts. That's a good hustle. Good hustle. There's my brand new battery I bought. What's the date on it? Focus. Come on, focus. Focus, you. There it is. 7/18. That's when that puppy was made. Nickel metal hydride. Stick my tongue out, make sure it's charged. It is. Oh God, that smells so bad. I hope you're right, Paul. Was it Paul that recommended this? So here's what happens. Beep, blue screen of death. And then it shuts off. That's it. And then it shuts off. So he says, hold the power button down. All right, Paul, you're under the microscope, as Joseph says. The button is being pressed with my fat finger for 1 minute. Somebody start the clock. Because if Paul's wrong, we're going to ban him and kick him out of the chat completely. Forever. If this fixes it, if this is a freaking trick that fixes it, I'm going to call that Snap-on guy tomorrow. I got to hold my breath. Are you kidding me? I used to do that in the store. If my mom wouldn't buy me something I wanted, I'd hold my breath. Actually, I didn't. My brother did. He'd hold his breath till he passed out. I used to pull out another card with my mom, which was slightly inappropriate, which I won't tell you on here because I don't want to offend anybody. You guys tell me when a minute's gone by. I don't see this working, Paul. Get all 10th grade. Whoa! What was that? I think I let my finger off it. Oh, start counting over again. Yeah, format. I'm about to bust out the 9, pop some holes in this thing. Hopping one leg while facing east. I'm facing south right now. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. I'm facing south. Check the card on top. You don't think I already pulled that card out like 50 times and blew in this thing like a Nintendo, Keith? I did. Or Kevin, sorry. Has it been a minute yet? Anybody? 15 seconds. Have you tested with the old battery? Of course, I have a troubleshooting diagnostic mind. The first thing I did was put the old battery back in. Then I pulled out the battery and I put it on just its regular power supply. And then I tested the power supply because it says it's supposed to be 15 volts. And it is. It's 15.09. So I plugged that directly into the top of the 12 to 15 volt port with no battery in it. And of course, it would not turn on then. So then I pulled out the little SD card in the top, or the CF card, because this is old school compact flash stuff. Pulled that baby out. Did the Nintendo thing on it, because that always worked. It's got to be at least a minute. Somebody kick Paul out of here. I love this tool. Look how mint this thing is. I kept my tools nice. It even has the screen protector on it still. It's mint. I pulled the CF card. This says, do not remove under the penalty of law without powering this thing down. Never remove this. Chances are, this is all it freaking needs. I wish I knew somebody else with one of these things that had one of these that I could just slip it in. Worked on Nintendo every time. You're like, man, I want to get down on some Duck Hunt. When going, you're like, you're wedging pencils in there to keep it down, and you get it just right. And then all of a sudden, you're halfway through Duck Hunt, the dog's laughing at you. Boop! Pencil goes out. What way did this thing go in? That way. Try it one more time. So that's what I got. New battery. I'm $129.99 plus tax poorer. And now I've got a tool that potentially is going to go in the garbage because they're going to stick it in my hoo-ha to fix the thing. What I found interesting was the power supply for it is 15 volts. However, every time I measured both batteries, they were only 10 volts. But I think it said right on it, max charge 14 volts. And they're 8.4 volts, 400 milliamp hours. Max charge currents, 3 amps DC. Max charge voltage, 14 volts. However, the charger they send with it is a 15 volt charger. All right. Maybe the battery company and Snap-on should get together and say, hey, your little AC/DC transformer that puts out 15 volts is going on our max output of 14 volt battery. I don't think it's what cooked it, because this is only resting at 10 volts. And it's supposed to be 8.4, but this can clearly handle up to 15, according to its top label there, where it says DC 12 to 15 volts. Let's just try it one more time. Please. Please just start. Freaking hate electronics. Stupid electronics, stupid cars. All they do is freaking cost you money. Boot it without the card. I don't think it will, Omar. But if you say so, it does the same thing. Blue screen of death. Probably because it's looking for some sort of operating system, which is on this little card. Check the pins. Well, I mean, if the pins were bent over, the card would not insert, and the card goes in beautifully. I've never even had this card out until today. Microsoft Corporation. For backup and archival purposes only with the Vantage Pro. Recovering media. I wish I had a CF reader. I'd plug it in my computer and do something about it. Like I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm with you, Tim. All I need is just need a new card. Oh, check the battery. Oh, the battery pins are huge, bro. And obviously it's not a battery issue because, it turns on. And when you pull the battery out, it turns off. So, yeah. Damn you, Bill Gates. Try it one more time. Nope. Deox it. Yeah, I'm about ready to deox it with a 9mm. Have I called it a dirty MFer? Maybe. Oh my gosh, it is freaking 10 after 7. I wanted to get home at like 6 o'clock at the latest because I got some stuff I want to get done. Any more suggestions? Hold the power in the setting button. I don't think holding any buttons, like none of the buttons feel stuck. They all have a good click to them. I think it's just pooched. I have not like whacked or anything. Went a bad experience one time. My dad had a snap-on. What the heck was it? Oh, the Solus or something, smaller one. He has a bad attitude. Some days, doesn't anymore. Used to. He broke it, like busted it right in half. I'm like, Dad, what are you gonna do with that now? Now that's like $5,000 in the garbage. I can't tell you what he said, but it was kind of funny because it wasn't my tool; it was his. What if we just? Nope, didn't fix it. Oh, let's see. What else we got? Take the battery out. Now you guys are just messing with me. Take the battery out and hold the power button for 1 minute. Reset button near the CF card. Is there really? I know a reset button. Let me look this thing over. There ain't no reset button on this. You guys are just messing with me now and making me look stupid. Let's see. Do not remove. It's got some screws on it. I'm just saying. I could be pulling them screws out. Worked for me. He said it worked for him. Remove the left hand grip and there will be a reset button. Both of the hand grips are off. Oh, there is a little button down there. It doesn't say reset. Oh, son of a mother. Let's get a poking apparatus. Got one. I'm going to use a Mac pick on a snap-on tool. Hope this thing doesn't go up in smoke. What do? Do you just push it in? I'll get you guys tuned in just in case something miraculous happens down here. So I'm pushing it. Do I hold it? It's clicking. I've pushed it. Yeah, the old paperclip reset button or the 90-degree pick that's no longer 90 degrees. Let's see. Yeah, you have to push the up arrow really fast when booting it up. Do I push the reset button now? Nope. I'll push and hold the reset button while pushing the power button. Yep. I've tried holding it and then turning it on. Here's the combo. Nothing. I'll hold it in the whole time now and hit that button. I don't think we're gonna get crap out of this thing. The card, I did put the card back in it. The card is back in it right here. We've already blown in it like a Nintendo. Hey, look at me, I'm an IT guy. And welcome to Target. I don't know, does Target fix computers? I don't know who fixes computers. I guess it's what, Rite Aid or no, not Rite Aid. They're a drugstore. I don't know. Is your battery contact not making a good ground? It should be. I mean, it's got a positive and a negative. There's a couple little bands in here. They're pretty springy. I mean, they're sticking way up. Way up. Guess we can give them a little extra spring here. I mean, it's already broke. They're already going to tell me like, oh, it's $7 bazillion. You loser. That's what you get for having such an old tool. You tool. I haven't slammed the battery in a fit of rage yet. Let's see here. Yeah, they're definitely, I mean, you can look in the hole. You see the contacts? Nice and shiny. Deep inside. Push and hold, turn on, release button. Now you're just messing with me, Mike. Let's try this. Again, nothing. I've already done that, man. You guys are just messing with me now. I'm going to give her one more go. We're going to press the emergency button. There it is. It's being pressed. And then we're going to press and hold this button. Remove the battery, then reset. We're just about out of options, people. I've exhausted all. I like Dennis the Menace. We've exhausted all options. It's time to drop kick it. Put it underwater and hold the battery button. No, you're just messing with me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the CF card is done. CF'd its way out of here. Does anybody have one of these? Because I could really use one right about now. This is my little baby. She ain't working no more. Yeah, see that is a good troubleshooting mind right there. Matt Mann or whoever said it. I think Booter Bill or somebody, I don't know, I lost it. But basically to have somebody else who has one, have them yank the CF card out of it, try to boot it up and see if it still gets the blue screen. If it does, then we know that is the symptom or a symptom of the CF card saying F you, and that's what it does, is the blue screen. So that is a good diagnostic troubleshooting procedure, good thought process right there. I can give old Keith a call and have him yank the card out of his and see if it also does that. Or if any of you guys have one kicking around, if you would kindly go yank the CF card out of it. And yes, I have tried CF slot too, but the card, the locator tab orientation is different, so you cannot put it in CF2 slot. So, yep. So that's it. Put it in the microwave for a minute and 37 seconds. I guarantee that will take care of it. So anyhow, that was some $729 right down the toilet, which sucks. If, obviously Snap-on's going to tell me it's going to be, $1,200 to fix it. So I will throw it in the trash, but I'll take that brand new battery and I'll just give it to Keith or somebody else who has one, because it's not like I can give it back to Snap-on now, even though I just bought it Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday, I guess, is Snap-on day. Yesterday, yeah. Yep. Let's see. Yeah, now we're getting a lot of CF card mumbo jumbo, but either way, like I say, I'll send it in and then I'll pay to send it in, see what they say. I'm sure, I'm not real hopeful, we'll say. But that's it, folks. I got to get out of here. It's time to rock and roll. Oh, I got a text. See who that's from. Yep, let's see here. What's it say? Uh-oh. I can't tell you. But that's it. I got to get rolling. So you guys seen the silver play button. There's still 1,900 folks in here. What is wrong with you people? What do you stick around for? But it was fun. Hold the power button for 2 hours. I'm going to do that the entire drive home. I'm going to hold the power button. And I'm going to put out a prayer request on Facebook at the same time while running it underwater and removing the battery and pushing the up arrow. And we'll see how that works. So I'm going to get out of here. See you later, JC, Wyatt, Brandon, Justin, now Jason, Rooster, Woody, D Piles, JJ Savage, Alex, Matt, Richard, the Desert Toyota, DJ Jabroni, Boxy Hall, Mike, Colin Trout, and the 69, the Broken and Brian Gold. We'll see all you guys later. We'll see you around in the videos. Hope to get some more out from you. I got to probably work on some tonight, being that we pretty much wasted the entire evening. And that's that. As always, thank you for watching, commenting, and subscribing. And also, thank you for making it possible to receive the personalized letter from Susan. There goes my candy. The personalized note. And then the silver play button. Without subscribers, well, frankly, I wouldn't have this. I still don't know what to do with it, but we've got it in case we figure that out. In the meantime, I got to get heading home. In the meantime, you can go down there, subscribe, ring the bell, all that stuff I usually say. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.